State job recruiter says this is one of the best times ever to find a decent paying job. Details are coming up.
Texas must now lift its ban on most abortions. I'm Casey Stiegel in Dallas. Coming up, a look at how the restrictive law had avoided legal challenges for more than a month.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Albee. One of 3 suspects in a Barton County, Missouri murder case pleads guilty. Lane Bronson today pleaded guilty for his role in the 2020 murder of Terry Harless back in Lamar. 2 other suspects in the case are charged with second-degree murder. Investigators say the men are responsible for the shooting death of Harless. The 3 suspects are also charged in connection with an Oklahoma murder case. You can read more about that on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The Ozarks Drug Enforcement Team and the Barry County, Missouri Sheriff's Office partnered up for a drug bust in Butterfield. Authorities say they seized around 400 capsules of suspected fentanyl and 15 grams of suspected meth. Officers arrested 2 people during the bust. Official charges, though, have not yet been filed. A natural gas leak forced emergency crews in Joplin to block off and evacuate a city street. Things are under control right now, but earlier today, Joplin Avenue between 12th and 16th Streets were shut down while crews plugged a gas leak. Spire Natural Gas says the leak was caused by a third party, not a Spire crew. Joplin job recruiter says 4 state employers are still clamoring for new hires, and those actively looking for work hold all the cards right now. KOM's Mike Mahoney spoke to the team at Employment Express Professionals in this edition of our Making It Work report.
There's no shortage of now hiring signs throughout the 4-state area, but that doesn't mean local companies are having an easy time filling positions.
They are trying to hire people on their own, and when they do drug screens and get those completed and then the employees don't show up to work the next day, they realize they're spending that money and then those people don't show up, and so they're at a loss.
The team at Joplin's Express Employment Professionals says companies' desperation for employees has translated into one of the best situations ever for those who want to work.
If you are looking for work right now, you are in the best time because you have all the cards. If you are looking for something with the highest pay, this is when you're going to get it.
Competitive pay has been a recipe for success for Galena's Oasis Car Wash Systems, and it's helped them fill up most of their open assembly positions.
Perfect opportunity for them to come in, especially the young ones, and learn a trade. And the pay is right now, it's probably some of the best I've ever seen.
Both Oasis Car Wash Systems and Express Employment Professionals say they see more people looking for work after Missouri opted out of the federal COVID-19 unemployment benefits. But that still hasn't cooled off the red-hot job market.
There's a lot of places right now you can just walk in and get hired. I mean, not even just with us. I mean, there's plenty of businesses out there that if you walk in and you say, I'm ready to work, they'll hire you. I mean, you can walk in here and within an hour, I mean, we'll have jobs ready for you.
In Joplin and Galena, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Well, the team at Employment Express Professionals also says several companies they work with had pay rates around $11 an hour pre-pandemic, but as of now, general labor here in the 4-state area is paying closer to $14 an hour. Freeman Health System in Joplin hosted a hiring fair today looking to gain some new employees. Officials were offering interviews for full-time and part-time positions. Some of those positions were clinical, like medical assistants, nurses, and physical therapists, and some were non-clinical, admissions, receptionists, and housekeepers.
We have anything ranging from a pharmacy technician, admissions, patient accounts, PRC, which is our physician reimbursement billing. We have nutrition positions. We have a full gamut of positions that run the full length of Freeman, again, clinical and non-clinical.
Entry-level positions at Freeman start at $15 an hour. Abortion rights advocates breathing a cautious sigh of relief they have right now after a federal judge temporarily strikes down one of the country's most restrictive abortion laws. Fox News senior correspondent Casey Stiegel is in Dallas, Texas with the story.
My body, my choice.
Texas lawmakers can no longer enforce the state's abortion law for now. That's after federal judge Robert Pittman ordered the Lone Star State to temporarily suspend its ban on most of the procedures.
The life of every unborn child who has a heartbeat will be saved.
The law went into effect last month, bringing with it a series of tight restrictions.
The law does not allow abortions in Texas once cardiac activity is detected. It also does not allow abortions in cases of rape or incest.
But Wednesday's federal order marks the first time the law has successfully been challenged. Experts say it was designed to avoid legal challenges with ordinary people, not the state cracking down on illegal abortions.
The state leaves it up to private citizens to file lawsuits.
And if someone were to successfully prove an abortion was performed, the law would grant them at least $10,000.
Come sue me. I dare you.
The Biden administration expressing joy over the ruling, with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki writing, quote, "The fight has only just begun, both in Texas and in many states across this country where women's rights are currently under attack." Texas Republicans, meantime, have already appealed. Governor Abbott releasing a statement saying the most precious freedom is life itself. That's the very latest from Dallas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
A major development on Capitol Hill tonight regarding the debt ceiling. Congressional leadership announced a deal to temporarily suspend it until December. Some Republicans are voicing their disappointment over the proposal. Democrats, however, say this is going to give them more time to fine-tune their social spending package. Fox's Madeline Rivera has a closer look from Washington.
Lawmakers reached a deal Thursday to raise the country's debt limit by $480 billion, avoiding a financial economic catastrophe, but only for 2 months.
And putting it in December is another train wreck we've got to deal with that probably empowers Schumer more than us.
Republicans say Democrats must still ultimately rely on reconciliation to address the debt ceiling after December 3rd. The process, which requires a simple majority in the Senate, is a non-starter for many Democrats. However, they might not have a lot of options for a long-term solution, especially since one key figure of their party says he's not open to carving out the filibuster so Democrats can increase the nation's borrowing limit on their own.
It was never going to happen. They knew that. The bottom line is they got to start working together.
Democrats say the deal will at least lift some of the pressure off them for the time being, as they also try to hash out a compromise on a multi-trillion-dollar social and climate spending package crucial to fulfilling the president's domestic agenda.
We should get this done in the next 2 months, and I think we will.
But first, they must get moderate Senator Joe Manchin on board, who hasn't yet committed to the plan because of concerns over its price tag.
We're talking to him and also his team.
Questions remain as to when the Senate will actually vote to pass the bill on the short-term debt limit hike, with the country set to run out of cash on October 18th. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
KOM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Teddy Reynolds served in the U.S. Navy. He retired with 21 years of service. And we are proud to thank and salute Teddy Reynolds, a native of Grove, Oklahoma. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Heddy's next with a complete look at the forecast, and later the Pittsburgh State Gorillas preparing for a big game against rival Northwest Missouri State. Gonna hear from the team in sports.
It definitely turned out to be a pretty good day for us today. Temperatures not bad. Most of us upper 70s to lower 80s. We had partly cloudy skies, still a lot of clouds across the region, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Tower cam for you. And then we've cleared out quite a bit over the past couple hours. So it looks nice for us tonight, but the heat is really going to kick in once again as we go through the next couple days. Look at our temps today. So we warmed up. Upper 70s on the Missouri side, lower 80s on the Kansas-Oklahoma side, and then we've dropped off a little bit over the past couple hours, but still pretty pleasant. Most of us are mid to upper 60s to near 70 degrees, and we have these light southerly winds which have been increasing, and these are going to increase as we go through the daytime hours for us tomorrow, and that's just really going to help us warm up even a little bit more. 67, humidity at 76%, pretty pleasant across the region. Looks good for us tonight. Nothing really showing up on the radar whatsoever. So we look good. The storm system we were dealing with, it's out of here. Moving up across parts of the Great Lakes. You can see a spin right across central parts of Illinois. Let's go west. This little ridge of high pressure, that's what heats us up. And then we get the beginnings of our next storm system, which will start to affect us by the second half of the weekend. Until then, we look pretty good. All right, let's go through time. Tonight, we'll drop back mid-60s. Southerly winds start to increase a bit for us tomorrow, mid-80s by noon. Then we're going to approach 90 by the time we head into the afternoon. So it's going to be hot. 62 to start, 85 by noon, high temp at 90. At least we don't have to deal with much in the way of high humidity. South winds 5 to 15. So not windy, but a little bit on the breezy side. For high school football, it looks good. It's going to be warm, but it looks good. Clouds increase tomorrow night. We'll have partly cloudy skies on Saturday, and then we're going to warm up again, 90, 91 degrees by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. Even Sunday, much of the same. I think most of us will go into the upper 80s, but look at the thunderstorms out to our west. This is a cold front. This really moves in Sunday night. So I think after 9 or 10 p.m., we'll get a line of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, maybe even severe. So we need to watch that on Sunday night. Until then, we're okay. Some leftover showers sticking around on Monday morning. Then Monday afternoon looks good, and then a warm front lifts in again. This is Tuesday afternoon. We'll get showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, and then a line of thunderstorms will drive through late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So the pattern definitely picks up a bit as we go into next week. 90 tomorrow, 91 Saturday, 88 on Sunday. Those thunderstorms Sunday night, 75 by Monday. Temperatures kind of back to where we should be for this time of the year for next week. Jordan?
All right, Doug, thanks so much. Next, an emergency authorization request.
Pfizer officially asked the U.S. government to approve COVID vaccines for kids as young as 5. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story straight ahead.
Picky eaters in college may be losing out on valuable fiber and vegetables in that diet. In a new study of almost 500 graduates, more than a third identify themselves as picky eaters. Now, in addition to the dietary impacts, researchers also found picky eating was linked to a fear of being evaluated by others, lower quality of life, and distress about what to eat. Pfizer is asking the FDA to approve its COVID vaccine for use in kids. It could mean shots in millions more arms by Thanksgiving, as President Biden touts vaccine mandates and declares them essential to ending this pandemic. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively is in D.C. with the details.
On Thursday, Pfizer officially asked the Food and Drug Administration to approve emergency use of its COVID vaccine for kids aged 5 to 11. If they give the okay at a meeting later this month, 28 million children could be eligible for shots in arms sometime between Halloween and Thanksgiving. But a Kaiser Family Foundation survey says 32% of parents would wait and see if they'd get their children vaccinated. Another 24% said they definitely would not.
We still have a long way to go. The fact is, this has been a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Also on Thursday, the White House released a report that says vaccine mandates have increased vaccination rates by more than 20 percentage points and could return up to 5 million workers to the labor force.
Vaccine requirements work. They're also good for the economy.
Some conservatives point out that U.S. COVID cases have already dropped almost 40% in the last 5 weeks and argue that more mandates would hurt businesses.
How many of these workers are going to quit working who are currently working in very strained conditions because Joe Biden wants to turn their bosses into his COVID police?
The White House says it will buy $1 billion worth of rapid at-home COVID tests, increasing the number available to 200 million a month by December. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Coming up, some former NBA players still getting major fouls.
Their playing days are over, but that didn't stop 18 former NBA stars from stealing from the league's health care plan. I'm Brian Yennis in New York. I've got the details coming up.
Federal officials say 18 former NBA players, including several former superstars, have been charged with defrauding the league. Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis has more from New York.
They made millions playing basketball. Now they're accused of stealing from the NBA. 18 former players, including Tony Allen, Glenn Davis, and accused ringleader Terrence Williams, have been charged with defrauding the league's health and welfare benefit plan, allegedly submitting about $4 million in false claims between 2017 and 2020.
The defendants who purportedly received medical and dental services at a location on a particular date were often nowhere near the provider's offices.
Officials say it was a textbook insurance fraud scheme. The players allegedly submitted fake reimbursement claims for medical and dental services to the NBA. They never received those services, but ended up getting about $2.5 million in proceeds from the benefit plan.
The scheme, which lasted for about 3 years, inflicts a significant loss to the healthcare industry, something we take very seriously.
According to the indictment, Williams started the scam by submitting false claims from a chiropractor's office. He then allegedly recruited other former players to do the same, offering them counterfeit invoices from medical providers. The feds say today's indictments show this type of fraud won't be tolerated.
My office and our law enforcement partners will apply our resources to expose healthcare fraud and to hold accountable those engaged in illegal conduct.
The only non-player charged with being part of the scam was Desiree Allen, the wife of former six-time all-defensive team member Tony Allen. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Coming up, the latest health craze right there. All right, not really. The latest taste making its way to the breakfast cereal aisle. Wendy's and Kellogg are teaming up to bring in items to shelves across the nation. The Kellogg company has unveiled the all-new Wendy's Frosty chocolate cereal. Take a look at that. The item is going to combine Kellogg's cereal, chocolate-flavored marshmallow pieces with the taste of Wendy's iconic Frosty. Wendy's Frosty chocolatey cereal is going to be available for customers in December at a suggested retail price of $3.99 a box. But the question is it going to taste as good as the real Frosties? Yeah, I say no too, but might be worth a try, right? 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. The IRS is cracking down on online auction transactions. Plus, Freeman Health System unveiling its newly expanded sleep center. Starting next January, anyone selling more than $600 worth of goods through services like eBay and Etsy will need to fill out a form to the IRS. KOM's Bronte Sorosky spoke with a Joplin tax expert who explains what this means for local online business owners.
For anyone that uses websites like eBay, Etsy, or Facebook Marketplace, you may need to start filling out a new form to the IRS if you haven't already.
When you're in business to sell things online, you need to be filing the proper tax documents to show your income and all your expenses that your business has incurred.
That document is a 1099-K form, although it's nothing new.
We've seen 1099-Ks for years, but what it is it reports whenever somebody's using online sales. We'll get a 1099-K reporting the income or reporting their sales to assure that they are reporting them on their income tax return.
What is new, though, is the prerequisite for those who need to fill one out.
I think they're doing a lot more requirements maybe now as they did in the past, as far as filling out the proper W-9 forms and things like that. So they're just realizing it, or maybe their sales weren't to the point that they were required to get one, which is $600.
Tax experts emphasize that for those with an online business, keeping track of your money is extremely important.
You need to be filing the proper tax documents to show your income and all your expenses that your business has incurred.
They also remind these online business owners that the IRS cracking down on these sellers is actually to their benefit.
To assist these small businesses, and because sometimes people's accounting methods aren't quite, they haven't learned properly, keep track of their income and their expenses. So a lot of times people say, I got this 1099-K. Well, yeah, there's your sales.
In the end, these forms help smaller businesses stay on top of their sales. In Joplin, Bronte Sorosky, KOAM News.
Joplin tax experts are already seeing calls regarding news about the form and say the responsibility of sending out these forms falls on the companies the sellers use rather than the seller themselves. Well, dyslexia makes it harder for millions of people in the U.S. to read and write. During the month of October, Pitt State's Center for Research, Evaluation, and Awareness of Dyslexia, or READing, is raising awareness of the learning disorder. The center plans to do giveaways and a fundraising and awareness drive primarily through social media.
We're at the beginning of Dyslexia Awareness Month, and our center is working on a fundraising and awareness campaign to bring awareness to dyslexia, reading disabilities, and we also do a lot with attentional disabilities like ADHD.
The center's giveaways will include books and full evaluations. Freeman Health officials today unveiled their newly expanded sleep center. The center was expanded to include 2 more sleep study laboratory beds, and the other study rooms were renovated as well. Officials say the expansion is going to allow for better collaboration with the daytime sleep medicine clinic and the overnight sleep testing team.
We serve people from the 4-state area here at the Freeman Sleep Center. There are many people who have problems with insomnia, sleepwalking, narcolepsy, snoring. It affects many people, and we can treat all of those issues here.
The Freeman Sleep Center is located at 931 East 32nd Street in Joplin. October is National Arts and Humanities Month, and the city of Joplin celebrated with the first Thursday Art Walk. At the Art Walk, Joplin Mayor Ryan Stanley right there proclaimed the month Arts and Humanities Month annually for Joplin. As usual, the Art Walk also featured plenty of art, food, and fun. Carthage Water and Electric Plant continued its Public Power Week celebrations, this time with a Glow Golf event. Public Power Week is a chance for utility companies to better engage with their communities. The plant hosted the 4-hole Glow Golf event at the Carthage Golf Course. There are also some food trucks, games, and giveaways.
What I love about things like this is making the kids happy. I love to see the smiles on the faces of the kids, and anytime you give a kid a glow-in-the-dark anything and balloons, they're smiling.
Earlier this week, the plant hosted tours of its facility, and tomorrow they're going to host a food truck event. Well, rising prices at those grocery stores won't be falling back to normal anytime soon, sorry to say. Food industry analysts expect for prices to continue rising for the next year and a half. They point to a shortage of truck drivers and other supply chain issues, creating scarcity in products as the prime culprit. According to Labor Department statistics, wholesale inflation increased more than 8% between August 2020 and August 2021. Expect the biggest increases to come from animal products like milk, meat, and eggs. United Airlines is adding flights for the holidays because it's seeing signs of pent-up demand. United says holiday travel searches on its website and app are up 16% from before the pandemic. In December, United expects to offer more than 3,500 daily domestic flights, which is 91% of the capacity compared with 2019, and the most since the pandemic started in March 2020. United says it's going to offer a schedule that centers on the 2 things people want most for the holidays: warm sunshine, also fresh snow. Well, the secret to fighting cancer may be exercising. A recent study published in the journal Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise says regular workouts help release a protein which slows the growth of cancer cells. Researchers tested this theory by analyzing a group of prostate cancer patients over the course of multiple weeks. The patients participated in exercise programs and then had their blood tested. The anti-cancer proteins called myokines increased the more the group kept to the plan. Scientists say myokines do not directly kill cancer, but it alerts the immune system to attack the cancerous cells. Out a bit later, Kellogg workers demanding changes.
Employees walk off the job at some U.S.-based Kellogg cereal plants. I'm Marianne Rafferty. I'll have what the company says it's doing to limit disruptions in getting your breakfast cereal. Straight ahead.
It definitely turned out to be a pretty good day for us today. Temperatures not bad. Most of us upper 70s to lower 80s. We had partly cloudy skies, still a lot of clouds across the region, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Tower Cam for you. and then we've cleared out quite a bit over the past couple hours, so it looks nice for us tonight, but the heat is really going to kick in once again as we go through the next couple days. Look at our temps today. So we warmed up, upper 70s on the Missouri side, lower 80s on the Kansas-Oklahoma side, and then we've dropped off a little bit over the past couple hours, but still pretty pleasant. Most of us are mid to upper 60s to near 70 degrees, and we have these light southerly winds which have been increasing, and these are going to increase as we go through the daytime hours for us tomorrow, and that's just really going to help us warm up even a little bit more. 67, humidity at 76%, pretty pleasant across the region. Looks good for us tonight. Nothing really showing up on the radar whatsoever, so we look good. The storm system we were dealing with, it's out of here, moving up across parts of the Great Lakes. You can see a spin right across central parts of Illinois. Let's go west. This little ridge of high pressure, that's what heats us up, and then we get the beginnings of our next storm system, which will start to affect us by the second half of the weekend. Until then, we look pretty good. All right, let's go through time. Tonight, we'll drop back mid-60s. Southerly winds start to increase a bit for us tomorrow, mid-80s by noon. Then we're going to approach 90 by the time we head into the afternoon. So it's going to be hot. 62 to start, 85 by noon, high temp at 90. At least we don't have to deal with much in the way of high humidity. South winds 5 to 15. So not windy, but a little bit on the breezy side. For high school football, it looks good. It's going to be warm, but it looks good. Clouds increase tomorrow night. We'll have partly cloudy skies on Saturday, and then we're going to warm up again, 90, 91 degrees by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. Even Sunday, much of the same. I think most of us will go into the upper 80s, but look at the thunderstorms out to our west. This is a cold front. This really moves in Sunday night. So I think after 9 or 10 p.m., we'll get a line of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, maybe even severe, so we need to watch that on Sunday night. Until then, we're okay. Some leftover showers sticking around on Monday morning, then Monday afternoon looks good, and then a warm front lifts in again. This is Tuesday afternoon. We'll get showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, and then a line of thunderstorms will drive through late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So the pattern definitely picks up a bit as we go into next week. 90 tomorrow, 91 Saturday, 88 on Sunday. Those thunderstorms Sunday night, 75 by Monday. Temperatures kind of back to where we should be for this time of the year for next week. Jordan?
All right, Doug, thanks so much again. Folks in Joplin had the chance to learn some of the city's history. The Dream Theater Company is hosting historic ghost tours. The company says the tours feature interactive and theatrical exhibits about the history and true crime of the area.
The goal for historic ghost tours is to increase the interest in preservation in our local history, and so we find that by doing that, we can kind of lean in on the things they wouldn't teach you about in history school, but are the more macabre and interesting things to kind of get a new market interested in our community.
The tours are going to be every Friday and Saturday for the next few weeks, as well as October 21st for Third Thursday. Coming up in sports, some Thursday night high school football action between Cherryvale and Baxter Springs. Also, the Joplin Eagles close out the regular season at home against Waynesville. Jacob Leonard has a look at that and Sunday's Chiefs game next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas have won 3 games in a row to get to 4-1 on the season. Now, this Saturday is their toughest test of the year, hitting the road to face rival Northwest Missouri State. The Bearcats are unbeaten, 4-0 heading into Saturday's game, and ranked number 2 in the nation in this week's coaches poll. The Gorillas head into the weekend on a 3-game winning streak. Their last 2 wins have been tight. They won by 2 over Emporia State and by 4 over Missouri Southern. Hasn't always been pretty, but finding ways to win, even when things aren't going smoothly, kind of what you got to do in this league.
Good teams find ways to win, and there's all different ways to do that. And was proud of how our team, handled some of that adversity last week and how we hung in there, even when we weren't playing our best football. found a way to make some plays at the end to win the ball game.
I think a lot of teams can take pride in something like that, just to know, like, if you don't have your best stuff one day, that at the end you're going to have the guys that want to make that play and can really come out and do that.
We have some Thursday night high school football this evening in southeast Kansas. The Baxter Springs Lions host the Cherryville Chargers in Week 3 of district play. Now, both teams are 0-2 in the district. The Lions aim to pick up their first win of the year. Cherryville leads early here on the punt return. That's Briggs Atkinson back there after he drops it. Scoops it up, brings it back across the field. Be patient, it takes a little bit. Just a foot race, breaks one more tackle. Gets into the end zone. Chargers get their lead to 14. Other side, Baxter Springs gets tricky later in the first. Handoff to Garrett Paxson. Pulls up and throws. Finds Jacob Grant wide open. Lions deep in Cherryville territory. That drive lasts into the second quarter. 4th and 18 from the 22 for Baxter. Ball gets loose. Connor Wickham jumps on it for Cherryville. They would go score again after that. Chargers get their first district win tonight, 42-6. The Carthage Tigers and Joplin Eagles meet on Friday night in Joplin. Both teams are undefeated, setting at 6-0 heading into this week's game. Now, they've both been really dominant all year. Carthage outscoring their opponents by an average of 35 points per game. Joplin is beating their opponents by 26 on average. Now, for whoever wins, it doesn't quite lock up the COC League title because there's still 2 weeks to go. But let's just say whoever does win, they're in pretty good shape as far as the COC standings are concerned.
Whoever wins this game is going to definitely be in the driver's seat, but you still have 2 games to go, and you know, I don't think you can count your chickens before they hatch, as they say.
Here we take a lot of pride in winning the conference championship, making sure nobody around here, you know, we're the top dogs around here, that type of thing. But it means a lot to us, and a lot of these guys just love being the champs around here.
The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-2 in their first 4 games of the season. This week, they'll try for back-to-back wins for the first time this year, hosting the Buffalo Bills on Sunday night. You know, we've all watched the games, right? The Chiefs' defense hasn't been that great. They're second worst in the league in both yards and points allowed per game. It'll be another tough test on Sunday, facing a Bills team that's scored at least 40 and racked up more than 450 total yards in each of the last 2 weeks.
I think that we could just go out there and play fast, throw a bunch of fastballs, and just let loose a little bit. Because this offense, if you're thinking too much, they create other different type of run schemes. They create different concepts. So we just I think we got to be brilliant at the basics, stick to fundamentals, and play fast football.
Tonight is senior night for the Joplin High School softball team. The Eagles welcome in the Waynesville Tigers in their final regular season game of the year. Joplin been pretty good the last 2 weeks, winning 4 of 5 coming into the night. Off to a good start today. Jaden Penko gets the Eagles rolling with a double. Bailey Ledford scores. Maria Loom comes sliding in. The next inning, Liz Snyder going the same way. 2 more will come in for the Eagles. Gets the lead to 5-0. Penko adds another RBI here. Eagles liking that spot there. Loom comes across. And the bats stay hot. Abigail Lowry. Chopper stays fair. Izzy Used getting waved home. Makes it in plenty of time here. Joplin finishes the job in 5 innings tonight. They shut out Waynesville in their season finale 12-0.
We had a 3 up, 3 down, and then we come up, and I think we put up 3 in the first inning right there, and we scored every inning. And again, when you're playing good teams, that's what you got to do. You got to keep tacking on every single inning, and that's what we did there today. We've won 2 extra inning games, Monday and Tuesday, and then to come out here and do it this fashion too. We're playing really well right now, and it's fun.
The St. Louis Cardinals saw their season come to an end last night. The Cards fell to the Dodgers 3-1 in the NL wildcard game in LA. It was a tight game all night long. The difference, though, Chris Taylor walk-off homer in the 9th for the Dodgers. That was a tough ending for a hot St. Louis club that had won 19 of 22 heading into the postseason.
Whoever won this game was going to have a really great chance to have a deep run in the postseason. You know, that's how we looked at it. We really felt confident coming into this game that we were going to win today. I mean, we did. We've been playing great baseball, and the takeaway from this, from our team, is to understand how far we came, the adjustments we made, and what a great baseball team we can be when we play like we're supposed to.
That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
A summer of labor unrest is continuing into fall as Kellogg's workers strike at several U.S.-based cereal plants. But the Kellogg company itself maintains its wages and benefits are fair. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty has more.
We want to keep all the rich and keep us guys down.
1,400 employees at Kellogg Company cereal plants walked off the job this week after year-long negotiations between union and management broke down. Workers say, among other issues, they're frustrated over a two-tiered employee system that gives lower pay and fewer benefits to new workers.
We're out here today together in unity for not only the full-time but also the transitional employees. We fully believe that they deserve to make the same wages that we make.
But the Kellogg Company insists its offer is fair. A spokesperson saying, quote, "Our offer includes increases to pay and benefits for our employees while helping us meet the challenges of the changing cereal business." The strike comes after a summer of labor unrest across the country. 600 workers walked off the job at a Frito-Lay plant in Topeka, Kansas, while Nabisco saw about 1,000 of its workers strike. A shortage of available workers and increased demand for quick meals during the pandemic resulted in longer shifts for many employees. Kellogg's workers say after more than a year of working long hours, they won't compromise.
We're considered essential employees. We're called heroes by our CEO. Now when it's time to just give us and all of us in the union a fair deal, it's not happening.
The Kellogg Company says it's implementing contingency plans to limit any supply disruptions. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
All right, next, a check of movies now available to watch both at home and in those theaters. The action of Daniel Craig's 007 looks to shake up the box office this week. Here's a look at new releases with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
The past isn't dead.
No Time to Die. Bond is back, and Daniel Craig won't be back as Bond after this. So what is his final outing as 007?
This is among my favorite of the Daniel Craig Bond movies. I think this is top 3, right alongside Skyfall and Casino Royale. In the last movie, Spectre, he was riding into the sunset. Now he's in retirement. He's enjoying his life with his new love when all of a sudden danger comes crawling back.
Why do I want to know about your son? Because he killed mine.
In limited release is the drama Mass.
Mass features 4 of the best performances that you will see this year, but it is a hard movie to watch. They have a shared tragedy where one couple, their son is responsible for a school shooting that killed the child of the other couple.
Streaming Halloween releases include Muppets Haunted Mansion on Disney+.
If you have kids who are Muppets fans, but then also know about the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World and Disneyland, then that's a perfect pairing for this one.
Welcome to the Blumhouse introduces the first installments of this horror anthology series.
In The Manor, Barbara Hershey stars as a woman who moves into a nursing home after having a stroke, and then she realizes that something supernatural is afoot. And then in Madres, we have a Mexican-American couple who are expecting their first child, and they relocate to a farming community in the 1970s in California. And then the wife begins to experience some really strange symptoms and terrifying visions.
And there's the current box office champ, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
There's some weird plots right there. Goodness gracious. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with video of some giant tortoises enjoying some juicy watermelon at the London Zoo. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.